They walk among us, behind the mundane facades of ordinary lives, within the comforting familiarity of our neighborhoods, can lurk a darkness so profound it defies comprehension. The monsters in our nightmares? Sometimes they are not figments of a fevered imagination. Sometimes they are real. They are the ones we pass on the street, the friendly neighbor, the unassuming colleague. They are the monsters next door. This isn't fiction. These are the chilling true stories that burrowed their way into the collective consciousness, the real-life boogeymen whose depravity fueled the darkest corners of our fears. Tonight, we delve into the terrifying reality of serial killers who didn't just take lives, they stole innocence, shattered peace, and forever altered the way we look at the world around us. Tonight, we explore the monsters next door, the real serial killers that inspired nightmares. From the sun-drenched streets of California to the fog-laden alleys of England, from the seemingly safe havens of Middle America to the unsuspecting corners of Europe, these predators operated in plain sight, their monstrous acts hidden behind a veneer of normalcy. They exploited trust, preyed on vulnerability, and left a trail of unimaginable horror in their wake. Welcome. For 2 decades, I've navigated the darkest currents of human behavior, seeking to understand the incomprehensible. The cases we'll examine tonight aren't just historical footnotes. They are stark reminders of the evil that can reside in the most unexpected places. These are the stories that seeped into our cultural anxieties, influencing horror films, true crime documentaries, and the very fabric of our nightmares. Consider the case of Ted Bundy. Charming, intelligent, seemingly the all-American man. Yet, behind that charismatic facade lurked a brutal predator who confessed to the murders of at least 30 young women across several states. His ability to blend into, appear trustworthy, was a key element of his horrific success. He was the monster next door, the helpful stranger who offered assistance, only to lead his victims to their doom. Bundy's case shattered the illusion of safety, the comforting belief that such evil was easily identifiable. He taught us that the most dangerous monsters can wear the most human faces. Bundy's trials captivated and horrified the nation. His charm and denial even convinced some of his innocence. But the evidence, the sheer volume of his crimes, painted a picture of a cold, calculating killer who exploited societal trust to commit unspeakable acts. He became a chilling archetype, the handsome devil, the wolf in sheep's clothing. The details of his methods, the way he lured his victims, often feigning injury or impersonating authority figures, highlighted a terrifying manipulation of human empathy. The sheer geographical scope of his crimes, moving across state lines, amplified the sense of pervasive danger. The legal battle surrounding his case, his escapes from custody, further cemented his image as an almost mythical figure of evil, a phantom who could seemingly evade justice. The psychological impact on the communities where he operated was profound, fostering an atmosphere of suspicion and fear that lingered long after his capture and execution. The questions surrounding the true number of his victims continued to fuel speculation and underscore the vastness of his depravity. Then there's the terror that gripped northern England in the 1970s, the Yorkshire Ripper, Peter Sutcliffe. Targeting women, often sex workers, Sutcliffe instilled widespread fear and paranoia. The police investigation was fraught with errors, allowing his reign of terror to continue for years. He was a truck driver, a seemingly ordinary man who lived a double life, his brutal crimes hidden beneath the mundane routine of his job. Sutcliffe's case highlighted the vulnerability of marginalized communities and the devastating impact of prolonged, unsolved violence on a society. The failures in the initial investigation, the misidentification of key clues, and the sheer length of his killing spree led to intense public scrutiny and a loss of confidence in law enforcement. The social context of the time, the societal attitudes towards sex workers, also played a role in the delayed apprehension of Sutcliffe. The fear he engendered permeated everyday life in the affected areas, with women altering their routines and living in constant apprehension. The psychological scars left on the survivors and the families of the victims were deep and lasting. The eventual capture and trial of Sutcliffe brought a sense of closure, but the years of terror left an indelible mark on the collective psyche of the nation. Across the Atlantic, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, another monster was operating in chilling secrecy, Jeffrey Dahmer. His crimes were particularly grotesque, involving not only murder, but also necrophilia and cannibalism. Dahmer, too, often appeared unremarkable, holding down jobs and living a seemingly normal life. His ability to compartmentalize his horrific urges and blend into his surroundings allowed his depravity to remain hidden for an extended period. Dahmer's case exposed the dark underbelly of urban life and the terrifying potential for extreme evil to exist undetected. The discovery of his crimes, the details of the human remains found in his apartment, painted a picture of unimaginable horror. The fact that he was able to continue his gruesome activities for so long, despite interactions with law enforcement and neighbors, raised serious questions about societal blind spots and the ability of evil to hide in plain sight. The psychological impact on the LGBTQ+ community, many of whom were among his victims, was particularly profound, exacerbating existing fears and prejudices. The trial and subsequent media coverage further sensationalized his crimes, contributing to a morbid fascination with the darkest aspects of human behavior. The legacy of Dahmer continues to be debated, raising ethical questions about the portrayal of such horrific acts and the impact on the victims' families. And let's not forget the chilling reign of Dennis Rader, the BTK killer, bind, torture, kill. For decades, Rader terrorized Wichita, Kansas, taunting police with cryptic letters and maintaining a seemingly normal family life as a church-going husband and father. His ability to live a double life for so long, to compartmentalize his monstrous urges and present a facade of normalcy, is deeply unsettling. The banality of his outward existence stood in stark contrast to the horrific nature of his crimes. The details of his methods, the meticulous planning, and the chillingly detached communication with law enforcement revealed a deeply disturbed and manipulative individual. The decades-long gap between his active killing periods and his eventual capture added another layer of psychological unease. The community of Wichita lived for years under the shadow of an unknown predator, the fear and uncertainty eroding the sense of safety and security. The eventual identification and arrest of Rader, a seemingly ordinary member of the community, sent shockwaves through the town, highlighting the deceptive nature of evil. His trial and the revelations about his double life provided a terrifying glimpse into the ability of individuals to lead seemingly normal lives while harboring unspeakable darkness. These are just a few examples, stark illustrations of the real monsters who have walked among us, the predators who exploited the comfort and trust of our neighborhoods to commit their heinous acts. Their stories serve as a constant, unsettling reminder that evil doesn't always wear a mask or lurk in shadows. Sometimes it smiles back at you from across the fence. The motivations behind these acts, the complex interplay of psychological factors, societal influences, and individual pathology, continue to be studied and debated. The impact on the families of the victims, the enduring grief and trauma, are a stark reminder of the human cost of such depravity. The way these cases are remembered and portrayed in popular culture shapes our understanding of violence and the nature of evil itself. The ethical considerations surrounding the retelling of these stories, the need to balance information with sensitivity, are paramount. The lessons learned from these tragedies, the improvements in law enforcement techniques and psychological profiling, are a testament to the ongoing effort to understand and prevent such horrors in the future. The enduring fascination with these cases speaks to a fundamental human desire to comprehend the incomprehensible, to grapple with the darkest aspects of our own species. The legacy of these monsters extends beyond the immediate horror of their crimes. They have seeped into our collective anxieties, shaping our fears and influencing the narratives that haunt our imaginations. They are the reason we sometimes double-check our locks, why we might feel a flicker of unease when a stranger smiles, why the idea of the monster next door remains such a potent and enduring source of dread. The way these stories are told and retold, the fictional characters they inspire in books, films, and television shows, reflects a societal attempt to process and understand the nature of extreme violence. The psychological impact on viewers and readers, the fascination with the macabre, are complex phenomena that continue to be explored. The ethical responsibilities of creators who delve into these topics, the need to avoid glorification and focus on the human cost, are crucial considerations. The cultural anxieties these cases tap into, the fear of the unknown, and the potential for evil to exist in familiar settings, are deeply ingrained in the human psyche. The ongoing analysis of these crimes by criminologists, psychologists, and sociologists contributes to a greater understanding of criminal behavior and the factors that can lead to such extreme acts of violence. The development of more effective crime prevention strategies and victim support systems is a direct consequence of the lessons learned from these horrific events. The enduring power of these narratives lies in their ability to tap into our deepest fears about safety, trust, and the potential for darkness to reside within the seemingly ordinary. The comfort of familiarity can be a dangerous illusion. Beneath the veneer of normalcy can lie a darkness we can scarcely imagine. The stories of these real-life monsters remind us that vigilance, awareness, and a healthy dose of caution are not paranoia. They are the lessons etched in blood and fear by the monsters who once lived next door. The importance of community, of looking out for one another, is underscored by these tragic events. The role of law enforcement and the justice system in holding such individuals accountable is paramount. The ongoing need for mental health support and early intervention to address potential warning signs is a crucial aspect of preventing future tragedies. The examination of societal factors that may contribute to the development of such violent tendencies is an ongoing and necessary endeavor. The power of storytelling, the way these narratives are framed and disseminated, can have a significant impact on public perception and understanding. The ethical considerations surrounding the media coverage of such sensitive topics are constantly evolving. The need to remember the victims and their stories, to ensure that their lives are not overshadowed by the notoriety of their killers, is of utmost importance. The exploration of these dark aspects of human nature, while disturbing, can also serve as a catalyst for greater understanding, empathy, and a commitment to building safer communities. The enduring fascination with the monster next door reflects a fundamental human struggle to reconcile the apparent normalcy of everyday life with the potential for unimaginable evil to exist within it.